All right. Hey, you guys. Definitely welcome back, Betty. How are you?
Great.
Thank you for being here with us
Thank you for
today.
having me.
Yes.
No.
Here's our now people who are just tuning in to the Eskwilax hour. Or
Once again.
this is the second half where we had Jess painting, and now we have Betty from. We'll just say it's coalition or just a brand
Yeah,
from
it's
Immigrant.
Immigrant Apparel,
Immigrant Apparel.
urban wear line.
Urban wear line. Definitely tell us about yourself and about the wear.
Well, I'm from New York. I've been in LA for 5 months now, and I started my brand 3 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. Sorry, PP's being a little.
How was the initiation of starting a brand and such?
Say it again.
What was the starting point of beginning a brand of such?
Well, my family were from El Salvador, so like many of us here, we're immigrants. It's a tough journey.
Yeah.
So I wanted to dedicate something to them, the fact that I'm proud, and basically represent it on fashion.
Nice.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Nice. And what's your intake on the whole political stand on what's going on in the ocean with just people being able to identify themselves with such a brand a lot deeper than just the apparel itself.
Right. Well, when I started 3 years ago, I never knew this administration was gonna be like this, and to be quite honest, it's been a circus.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a circus. I like to see it as a nightmare, honestly. So with that being said, I'm glad that I created this a few years ago, so we have something to be proud of. We can wear this word proudly. I'm proud of it, and it's really sad what's going on. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say is going on? Basically, it's. I mean, of course, we talked about it lightly. There's a lot of hot topics out there right now. Definitely, with the root of our show, the Eskwilax Hour, promoting art and people who are passionate with what they're doing. And right now it coexists within an era of, it's very positive, it's being intaken, a lot of creativity is being intaken by the society. Our economy is liking, more people with tattoos in their environments, or not just that, but also artists who are creative, who are not just regular people, who are now second, third generation, very creative people who come from a background of being undocumented. They're undocumented themselves, have family who are immigrants, who might have a business, who don't have a business, but definitely visibility is a matter right now, and anything that is out there is going to be heard and going to be, either reciprocated back with positivity or not taken in. And right now, you have a brand that is very taken in, and it's very powerful, like you stated in your statement. It's not just a wear, but it's a statement, like a political uprising to being in solidarity with people who have been isolated and marginalized for a long time and still continue to be, and now are being subjugated to even deportation and to not having rights no more. But where do you see us right now with the brand and just being there with people? Like, what do you think about it, or how are you feeling about it at the moment?
Well, what's going on with DACA is a travesty. These children came here as either children or young adults with their families to seek a better life, as I did with my family. I came here when I was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That could very well be me right now. I came here when I was 2, and I didn't become a U.S. citizen until I was 19. I wasn't able to go back to El Salvador until I was 14, and I'm 33 now. So I know what that entire, timeline is.
Yes.
It's emotional, it's stressful, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
My father, he died. My grandmother died before they were able to go back to El Salvador.
Yeah.
And it makes you, it hurts you. you know, it really hits you the center of your core that this is still going on. You know, there's plenty of people that fight every day to make change, to make it better for people like the Dreamers. And the fact that we can have, you know, neo-Nazis, KKK parading, and they're allowed to hang out and wave their flags, but Dreamers can't be here, it's horrible. It's a nightmare. It's in 2017, it's like, it's unheard of.
No. It should be unheard of, or it should just be something in the past, you know, where we have moved forward from, definitely, you know. Because, you know, you're definitely an example, and a lot of the people who are out there putting their work now, of people who have been pushing, you know, something they believe in. And if this brand was something that was not, I mean, it was created from your passion and from not just identifying with something that you read, you know, you lived it and you brought it to life, and it's now present in many people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my family taught me to be very patriotic and always remember where you come from, because without which, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going.
Definitely.
So they taught me to, you know, always know what your heritage is, your background is, and move forward with that, you know, take that and run. And we're no different than the Europeans that came in 100 years ago. The only difference is our skin tone, you know, and our last names. That's really about it. And all we can do now is just stick together and move forward and try to make positive changes.
Right. Definitely. Like, what about like dialogue with people who might not understand the positivity of using the word immigrant as part of a label? I'm sure you've
yeah, I mean, when I first
that.
started, people, they were like, Betty, you're crazy. You're going to put that word on a shirt? I'm like, this is a beautiful word.
Yeah.
I mean, this is maybe not, you know, everyone is first generation, but everyone comes from somewhere. So I wanted to just rip the stigma of that negative connotation and make it a positive. It's a beautiful thing to be an immigrant. We come here to achieve a better life, maybe not for ourselves, but for our family, our future family.
Right.
And it's important to invite people and to talk and have conversations, like you said, dialogue, and educate people that we're here to do better. You know, we don't want to have that, like I said, negative connotation that we're here to take anything from anyone else. We're just here to add, to contribute, to be positive influencers in society.
Right. I mean, definitely. I mean, we were just talking about it a bit with Hoken, our camera, and you know, media producer also, and Angel. On our way over here, we were like, it's important to have dialogue about this and to show different perspectives, because we all know different, you know, I keep saying, you know, we all know different levels and have different experiences with this, you know, political issue. Or, you know.
That's true. You know, not everybody, you know, partakes on certain concepts of, you know, how in depth each thing is you know, such as words, such an apparel, or such, you know, such art. You know, everybody just sees the surface of it. But there are people that are putting in depth, you know, the perspective of what is going on and how to clearly, you know, just go about it, you know, and instead of just being scared to use certain stigmas.
Because we definitely grew up with our parents that did not want to, I mean, even if we go really way back in history, some people don't even want to identify as an immigrant or someone who's indigenous, you know, because it would get them killed, you know, and especially in Salvador with the Civil War, and Guatemala with the Civil War, and you know, like all these indigenous places that people were scared to identify because their families would get wiped out. And nowadays, they have their kids here in the United States, or like we said, a lot of people like Dreamers, AB 540 students, they came over here and still identify with their roots, identified with their life here in the United States, and are using that now to have a voice, you know, because sometimes our people didn't want to really have a voice. You know, we were working and we were handling, but hold up, you know, like I'm not sure if I'm ready to be seen, even though there was a large invisible economy that was being produced, and it continues to function now with people who are undocumented, you know, people who are under DACA, under a bunch of political,
TPS,
TPS, like different asylums, and I don't know. It's you know, history does repeat itself, as we say, and it's definitely important for us to be part of vocalizing our opinions, but also translating like how politics do evolve and how work is passed on to generations, where it's like we're not invisible, we're very present, and we can create even though we were pushed out. We can make our brand, we can make our businesses, we can be us, we can be whatever we want to be, even though we have been pushed out for centuries and still don't even want to be included as people of this country. You know, so definitely thank you for being an example and for being here for all of our, you know, people who don't have a voice or have a voice or have been shy or do speak out, because we do have a lot of people right now in solidarity out there, not just with the tragicness of the earthquake last night in Oaxaca and Guatemala, but with what happened in Texas or what's happening all over the world with a lot of political turmoils, and especially with DACA and how people are just playing with language that actually affects lives and families. You know, we cannot just think that that's not real, you know, so definitely, I don't know. And I've said a lot, but Betty
But
got
it's
the
true.
words.
It's like she said. Everybody's being separated. Due to different causes. You have people within California, you know, talking about not just about DACA, but talking about the fire that's going on in Burbank. We have people also that are from out of state that are talking about what's going on in Texas and how that law was also abolished, where you were warned and evacuated, you know, to safety, you know, for your own, you know, for your own safety.
We have students who are fighting also fee hikes and trying to still survive out there within the education system, you know.
And so it's like everybody's being split up, and now with the earthquake, you know, going back home, you know, certain people, certain of us that do have family members back home, you know, and it's not just one sector, but it's three sectors of that area. You know what I mean? The sector that also wants to exclude themselves from being a bigger nation or a country, and because Oaxaca does identify themselves outside of Mexico, they don't identify themselves as Mexicans, then they find themselves as, you know, just Oaxacans. And they also were affected. Chiapas was also affected, which is part of Mexico. So you could say Mexico was also affected. Guatemala was also affected. So everybody's just not knowing where to go or where to put their full attention, and knowing that, you know, certain things like this is going on, really does, they do need a certain stability, you know, like a word or just a phrase itself, or an individual that would kind of bring forward, you know, just the kind of like the turmoil to cease.
But definitely, I've seen you've definitely been to a lot of events, right? What would this one be?
Say again?
Sorry, I was trying to see the picture, and which event, if it was an event. It
Yeah,
says
that
Mayor
was
Juana.
in Providence, in Rhode Island.
Nice.
And that's the mayor. He did a photo op with us. He's the mayor of Rhode
Nice.
Providence.
See?
Yeah, he stopped by our booth, and he loved what we were doing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh.
Definitely, you see people of all economic statuses can identify, or different
Absolutely.
classes, you know.
Yeah. There's a few A-list people that are wearing my brand.
Yeah.
And now more than ever, like you said, people are standing in solidarity.
Mhm.
People are even if you're not an immigrant, first-generation immigrant, you're representing people that are doing things,
Yeah.
people that are immigrants that are doing things. People like Amber Rose, Jason Derulo, Jeff Foxworthy, they've all worn my line. And it's a great thing, but also with following with what you guys are saying, right now we have an administration that is more or less dividing people. And it's unfortunate because with so many disasters that are going on, from the fires to the earthquake to this massive, massive hurricane that we have almost hitting Miami, it's not a time to divide people.
Yeah.
It's a time to bring people together and to help one another in time of need. And if we have an administration that is breaking people down from the top, then how can that happen at the bottom? We have to look past that and know that at the end of the day, we all bleed red no matter what color we are, or if we were born north or south of the border. That should go out the window when it comes to things like this.
Right, because we're all human. And
We're all
it's like
human.
one world, too.
It doesn't matter where we're from, we're all human. And like I said, right now it's a time to stick together and to really more or less love each other.
And you've been feeling that, right? Because you've met a lot of people. There's a lot of photography that, a lot of people that wear your brand and send you pictures and tell you, you know, I'm sure there's stories about why they identify with Immigrant Apparel, you know, and that's very
Absolutely, like OT
prominent.
Genesis that you see there, he's from Belize.
Oh, okay, nice.
You know, people like Jason Derulo, they're Haitian. I mean, sometimes you don't even know these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But these are people that are, Perez Hilton, he's Cuban. People that are very in tune and in touch with their heritage. And they're proud to wear Immigrant Apparel.
What would you have as, like, you know, like a closing? But of course, we are also going to have another dialogue with another artist, and also DACA Pro, Glenda, or another artist. We had her before on the show too. Or I don't know, what is the statement that you feel right now we could all really like identify with? If you could leave a couple words to, you know,
to your audience,
to
to the
your
audience that listens to you or
and,
views you,
and the people
or
who
even
are about to follow you after they see your amazing interview.
But what kind of message do you want to relay to everybody? You know, that like you said, it's being divided, but still, there's something that they need to look forward to. And
just like my parents did, they were very brave people. And to all the dreamers out there, to all the people that are undocumented, stay strong, have faith in yourselves, in our system, and just always do the right thing. Stay out of trouble so they don't give you a reason to kick you out, more or less. Be a positive contribution to society, and always do good. And my brand was dedicated to all people that reside in a foreign land, all walks of life.
It's definitely, it's a beautiful dedication, and I'm glad that we're documenting this moment, you know, where someone who believed and has been very alive and present in your family's life, and everybody around you has definitely, I'm sure, given you a lot of support, and that's very positive. And thank you, because it influences other people who may have been shy or come with your similar background to also push themselves, you know, because like you said, we can do whatever our mind creates or decides to do. So right now, with trying to understand DACA, what would you say people should, you know, think about right now? Because
or
it's already passed, you know. They're saying right now that if you have so-and-so errors, you're leaving, you know. But do you think that we should right now scatter around or come together, you know? Because sometimes they throw media out there to scare people, to divide people, like you were talking about, you know?
Yeah, I would say, like I said, stay strong, stay positive, and chase your dreams no matter what they are. If you want to be a rocket scientist, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a designer, you want to be a reporter, stay true to who you are, no matter who you are, and just be a positive contribution to society, because outside of that, you know, there's always a reason for people to more or less deport you. But be strong, have faith. I have faith in Congress that this will be fixed. I don't think that I don't think almost 1 million people are gonna be deported. I hope not, but I do have faith in Congress, and I'm certain that we'll come to a resolution.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And yet again, if you could tell us again, how can we find your brand? I know I saw your Instagram page, which is really cool.
The website is immigrantapparel.com. I am in a couple stores in New York. I'm also working on getting into a few retail shops and having my own shop here in LA.
Nice.
For the time being, online, immigrantapparel.com. I also do pop-up events throughout the city.
Wow,
And
wonderful.
also, if people want to connect with you, you know, and just, you know, talk to you more about, you know, political movements, such as, you know, the ones that are coming up,
'Cause
you
I'm
could
sure,
also,
yeah.
you know, lend a helping, you know, ear, and also a helping voice for them too as well, if
Yeah.
they want to reach out to you.
Because you're
in
so
that matter.
positive, you
Yeah,
know.
those are my people.
I like it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook is Immigrant Apparel, or my personal is Betty Penate.
Betty Penata. Thank you so much, Betty. I
course.
really appreciate you
Oh,
coming
and,
out here. And you also sponsored us
I got
today
some
at
gear.
the
Some
Eskwilax
gear.
hour. We'll do this.
Show
I
it.
know. Let's do
So,
this. Here's a
mhm.
couple of, we got a little beanie, which is really pretty. Those right here. Nice. And it has the United States in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we also have the immigrant shirts, which is the black and white one, which is the one you're rocking actually. That's
Yeah.
that's a jacket.
The
huh?
sweater, yeah.
That's cute. That's
Yeah.
a
And
nice
in
one.
the gold too.
And then the black and white one. And of course the beautiful gold.
Some goodies for the crew.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. And yet again, thank you for coming through, especially
Thank you for having
in
me.
these moments where we need as much information as we can to definitely keep spreading and awareness to people who are unaware of what's happening, or people who are aware and just need more encouragement.
And also people who want to take back certain words, as you know, and remove the stigma behind
Yeah.
certain, you know, words or certain images, such as the R2 and as in the Virgin Mary, you know, removing certain stigmas behind, you know, all the controversy that's, you know, pushing everybody aside, to just secluding them into, you know, keeping certain things, you know, to themselves, and certain things, you know, alive, but
Absolutely.
eliminating that and pushing forward, you know, a new generation that includes everybody. Thank you, Betty.
Thank you so much, Betty. Well, definitely, I guess we're going to introduce
Glenda, our
Glenda
other
is,
spokesman, you know, thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Betty.
thank you so much, Betty.
So
Thank you
we
for-
have her Instagram yet again. If you want to tell us your Instagram, you said it was
Immigrant Apparel.
Immigrant
Yeah,
Apparel.
At Immigrant Apparel and at Betty Penate.
There you go, you guys.
Immigrant
Thank you so
Apparel.com.
much, Betty, yet again, for being here with us today.
And lending a voice to everybody.
Yeah, and then I guess, yeah, we'll bring in Glenda.
So we're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we put on the